Alright y'all, welcome back to Foodie Fun with Sid. And today we're going to be doing a review. But I'm going to kind of give y'all a couple of little snippets of what I'll be eating for today. Number one will be bagels. So these are bagels. I don't know if you can see them. Got these babies from Mexico. I'm on retreat. I'm on Cynical and Falls retreat. So I got these babies. They're good enough to bring home. They're super, super fresh. All the bagels I get in Mexico and the food I eat in Mexico is always pretty much amazing. So I bought these back home and I'm going to do egg sandwiches. So that's going to be egg whites and eggs. I'll air fry these like 5 minutes. Slice them open, throw a little butter on there, throw my little cheese on there, have my eggs in the middle, and make sandwiches with these. I also, you already know, every cheat meal, I'm going to go through my inventory, see what's in the cabinets, see what's in the deep freezer, what's in my regular freezer behind me. I'm going to go in one of those. And I found out I made a jumbo biscuit. So I'm going to eat the biscuit too. So I'm probably going to do me 2 bagels with eggs. And then I'm going to warm up my little biscuit. Hopefully it's still good. I'm going to warm this up, throw some butter on there and some jelly. And then I'll have this. But the review of the day, we're going to go into TikTok land and go into TikTok territory. So if you haven't seen it, and those who don't have TikTok, I'm going to tell you what the trend is. And it's basically making cinnamon rolls, but you're using heavy cream and then like butters, and you're doing this whole thing. You already know we ain't finna do none of that over here. So, but we will be testing out the Grand's Peaches and Cream cinnamon rolls. So I am going to try the version where you do add in like something around the cinnamon rolls. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in original almond milk, and then the whole purpose of the heavy cream is to make the cinnamon roll gooier and all that good stuff and more rich. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my milk, which he said is another substitute, and you just kind of drizzle it over the cinnamon rolls. I'll show you that portion. But then I'm going to do my favorite, all-time favorite. I'm going to add in my avocado oil and drizzle that too, so that way I'm getting the fat content I would have gotten in the heavy cream, but I'll add it to my milk and then kind of see if that gives the same type of effect. I personally don't believe in adding extra fat where it doesn't need to be there, especially if it's like, what is butter? Trans fat? Whatever. One, it ain't good for your arteries, so we ain't clogging them bad boys up. So I ain't adding it. So I'm going to give you a healthier version of your cinnamon rolls with avocado oil and almond milk. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to go over here and get it done, and hopefully it works out. Okay, so another thing is I'm adding, I forgot to tell y'all, so I had, like you saw, my little bagels and my biscuit. That's gonna be there for my carbs. So like I said, the very first video I showed you kind of how I plan everything. So I'm gonna do my cinnamon brown sugar waffles, or the fluffy kind. Make sure there's the fluffy ones. And my blueberry one. So that'll replace fries. So if I were to do 2 burgers and 2 fries, I'm now doing my waffles as a replacement for my fries. All right. Let's get into this good old peaches and cream cinnamon roll redone, healthier version recipe. Girl, I can't figure out how to. Okay, all right. Here we go. I'm gonna do this step here, and then we're gonna. Oh, it ain't working like that. Boop, boop. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna take the. Oh, that's pretty. So this is a peach color, clearly, makes sense. I'm probably gonna warm this up, scoop it out and warm it up in a bowl once I'm done. I'm gonna take this to the side, got the little goop on top. And then I'm going to, oops, I forgot to spray the pan. I'm wondering, what y'all think? If I don't spray the pan and just put the avocado oil at the bottom of the pan, will that get the job done? We're gonna see. Do this a little bit. I do like a light little drizzle. And do my cinnamon rolls at the top. So I'm just gonna, my hands are clean, so we're gonna just line that bad boy up. Boop, boop, boop. So that way it seeps in at the bottom and I can scrape them out easier. All right. So I'll probably do that light little drizzle. So as you see, that was a little drizzle at the bottom. I'm gonna line this one here. And they're already perfect. If you want to do homemade, they say you can do the same thing. I'm not doing all that, so I'm gonna do it this way. Get a little bit of cinnamon in there. All right, so this can, one can has 5 cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna try to keep, wait a minute. Something kind of coming apart a little bit. I'm gonna try to stick that cinnamon, the roll into the roll. All right, so we got 5 lined here. All right, so we got an almond butter at the bottom. It was like barely a tablespoon. I'm gonna wipe my hands real quick. And then in all the recipes, it did have, like when they poured the heavy cream, it had the heavy cream kind of pretty much everywhere and in between the rolls. So I don't need to go like too much because I feel like it'd just be too much. We're gonna go around the rolls and just make sure that all the oil, I guess, is covered. Here we go. Okay, so y'all just gonna be winging it with me. So I'm doing like, I wouldn't say it's too much. It's enough to kind of be maybe a quarter of the roll. And then what I'm gonna do is take my avocado oil. I got the Nutiva version. I'm gonna take that and then just do a light little drizzle, maybe across the top. We ain't doing too much because it's just expensive, so. Okay, so that's what it is so far. So you can kind of see like the oil sitting on top of the milk. I'm gonna let the stove finish preheating. I have it preheating for 35, and then I'm gonna let this sit while I make my eggs for the rest of my cheat meal and get all this food together. So while I'm eating, I'm gonna have this cooking for 30 minutes, and then I will show y'all what it looks like when I get everything perfect. So I almost forgot a very important step. You are supposed to cover your rolls with foil. So that goes around there. The oven is already preset. My eggs are being made. I'm gonna throw this in here, and then 30 minutes from now, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we have multiple things going on at one time. I have my turkey patties cooking, my eggs, my cheese are cooking, and my air fryer is doing my waffle. So I'm gonna cut, I already warmed this up. I'm gonna cut the top off because I only want the top of the biscuit anyway. I'll give whatever else to my mom. Some of it, that should look good. That way I'll just put jelly on one side. This side might be slightly undercooked. I'm probably gonna pull off the undercooked pieces. Put those to the side. So actually I will do this bottom because that one's cooked pretty well. It's just this middle one. So when you make giant ones, you gotta be conscious of making sure it's all the way cooked through. Yeah, that should be good. It was one of those layer ones. So I got that over there. Won't need that really. And that way I have any extra turkey, I can actually, I'm gonna make me a turkey biscuit with this one. Oh, the timer has gone off for the waffles. All right, so we got this butter going here. I even brought back, because I was supposed to eat a PB&J when I was in Mexico, but I didn't do that. So I brought back some jelly from Mexico because I had a little bit left. So I'm gonna scoop that out. So the whole thing is just preparation, getting everything ready to pull the whole meal together before you sit down and relax and close out the week. So my cheat meals are always on Saturdays right now, which is my last training day. So I pretty much just let the meal sit where it is and literally let my body just recover off of what I'm eating today, and then I will go in the gym on Monday and start the week back off. I used to have cheat meals on Fridays where I would go in, if I had like a weak body part, I'd go in and train that body part post cheat meal. But since everything pretty much flows together pretty well now, I don't have to do that. Oh my God. Ooh, Jesus. Okay, back to what I was saying. So I don't do that anymore. So I'm getting this all set. I'm gonna pull my waffle pan out, and I also don't really like my food to touch, so you'll notice that I kind of separate everything. I also eat one thing at a time, so you won't see me grabbing this and grabbing over here and grabbing there. Like, nah, one thing at a time. I'm gonna leave that slide by itself. I'll put some turkey patties on this. Okay, so we're back. So first set of waffles are done. That's my blueberry one. I'm gonna let them sit to the side. I'm gonna start here and I'm going to take them apart and add my butter to each one. Just a little bit, little dab will do ya. So for me, when I do my waffles, I'll warm up the air fryer for about 5 minutes, and then when I put the waffles in, I'll do another 5 minutes, but I just watch them a little bit so that they're crunchy, but they're not extremely hard. Now when I do this, my sister always taught me to layer every single piece, so I'll layer a little bit, boop, boop, boop. Do that. And then once I get done with this, while the other one is cooking, I'm gonna sit these in the microwave so that heat can just sit on top of itself and everything drizzles and kind of softens together while I go on to the next thing. Okay, so while I'm doing that, I took my little turkey sausages off of the skillet. And I'm gonna add probably just, I think this is my favorite one. Add this one to my little biscuit. I low-key might even do an open face, so we're gonna just add a biscuit over that one. So that way they can just sit by themselves. I may throw this little bitty baby piece on top just for giggles. Alright, so that'll be an open face one. That'll be there. And again, the whole point is just basically get my carbs in and make sure that I'm eating more than I do every day. My food is really high right now, so I need to eat in excess so that way I'm really getting the most bang for my buck. Okay, so the cinnamon ones are now done. I'm going to do the exact same thing with these. I'm going to stack them all up, and then you already know what's next. You cut those bad boys one line, one line, one line, one line. Eat the center first. That's how you waffles. Oop, almost put my jelly on there. And while I am waiting on my bagels to finish being warm, everything else is pretty much all set. So I'm going to rinse and repeat here. Add in my layer. I'm very specific on how I eat my waffles. I'm not one of those people who just cuts them up and just jumbles them together. Like, nah. As y'all can tell, that's not my personality type. So, I drizzle these and eat in order. Alright, so now these are perfection. This plate is ready to go. I'm going to sit these here, and then when there's time to actually eat, because I'll show you everything all together, but I'll let this sit in the microwave. When there's time to eat, I'll microwave them for about 30 seconds so everything kind of just pull into itself, and then they'll be perfect. Alright, so we are in action. I pull my little bagels out. They are nicely toasted. I'm going to set my air fryer casket down. Pop these babies on out. Slide that over here. And then I'm going to get these babies ready. I'm going to try to keep them together as much as possible without burning myself. Woo! Alright, we're getting somewhere. You know what? This shit's hot. Alright, be careful of the temperature. So I put these on 5 minutes, but I took them off with about 2 minutes to spare because they toasted pretty quickly. So you can do these with pretty much any bagel at your bagel store or any store you can kind of get here. Alright, so I'm going to make this 2 pieces of bread. If this will let me. There you go. Alright, so it's still moist, which is good. Make sure it's toasting though. I don't know if y'all can see that heat coming off, but it's hot. I'm gonna see if this one is as hot. Might have had a second to cool down a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Alright, so I'm trying to keep this as even as possible so that when I put the butter on there, it's nice and even. Woo! I just had an idea. We can make pizza bagels with these one day. We'll do that soon. Okay, as soon as I get this. See, I don't really care about it being pretty. I'm just trying to eat. You know your girl is hungry. Alright, so we're just gonna pull that apart. As long as it tastes good. That's what I'm here for. Alright, so now I'm gonna do my little butter. Put that around in my little circle. Now notice when I'm using my butter, I am using Smart Balance Original with omega-3s in it in ALA. So that way I also am aware of kind of like when I do add my butter, what types I'm adding and what I'm comfortable with, whether it's a difference to anybody else or not. And then I choose that one and I stick with it. Now I also have a vegan butter that I really, really love. I just have this left and I'm trying to stop wasting money, y'all. So this is what we're gonna use today. All right, it's on here real nice and ugly. It's the thought that counts. All right, so put as much butter as you need around there. I'm gonna add my jam now. You already know the vibe. Sweet and savory, a little salty, a little sweet. Throw this on here. So also a large part too. I don't know if I said this in the first video show or not, but I choose a lot of my cheat meals based off of the condiments that I want to eat. So I knew I wanted jelly and what goes with jelly, syrup. So I knew it was gonna be a breakfast kind of day today. And so I based my meals around that. Now, one thing I have noticed is the higher my food gets, not necessarily the less I eat. I still eat a lot, but I don't eat as much as when I'm like legitimately like, oh my God, I'm starving. Like I'm hungry as hell right now, but it's just a different vibe when you're like pretty much fortified daily and it doesn't make you want to eat as much on the weekend. So that's a cool thing that I've noticed during my journey. And with the year-round cheat meals from year to year, definitely this year it's just been very different anyway. Last prep was very different, so it's cool to see what changes happen mentally and of course physically, but the mental ones are the fun parts, just to see kind of what you really don't need anymore. So we will run Foodie Fun with Sid all the way until my cheat meals get pulled, or I tell my coach to pull my cheat meals. So that is the plan. And at that point, we will have a new season. All right, so this is ready. I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna take my little egg with my little cheese on top. Boom, I cut them in half, made a little mini omelet. Throw that on there. Cut my other one, throw that on there. Then I'm gonna add me one little piece of turkey. Put the turkey in the vibes. Right down the middle. Boom, stacked it over there.